It is just afternoon, guys. Good afternoon to all of your sunshiny faces and happy. Today's Sunday. Yeah, it's just 12:30. I almost said good morning, guys. I thought I'd show you guys because before, when I organized the top cabinet that's up there, I didn't show you guys how I did that and stuff like that. And although I've got everything out right now, for the most part, I am not completely doing a before and after like I have told you guys last week. I was like, oh, I should have done that when I organized the pasta, but I'm doing a semi like organized before and after kind of thing. This week, I don't know if I mentioned about what I was planning on doing, but basically once a week we've been buying like new ball canning jars, all the different sizes and things like that. And so this week I decided to work on the spices and seasonings. So the kind I got is the pint size. I think this is pint size. Yeah, pint size. And I'm going to, I got these actually in the regular mouth canning jars. I've been normally getting the wide mouth, but the reason I wanted to do that was because they do sell from Ball, actually, not at my store that I've been buying these from, but through like their Amazon. I know they have actual shaker lids that you can get, so that obviously if I'm using something like garlic salt and I just need a couple shakes out of there, I can, like I said, they have the lids for them, but they only fit the regular size, so that's why I ended up getting in these. So I got 12 of the, what's it called, the pint size ones, which are a little bit smaller. So for some of them though, you guys can see, sometimes I do buy in bulk at Caputo's of certain spices and seasonings, like Italian seasoning. I got the big thing of black pepper, which honestly guys has been lasting us a really long time. So that's why I think I spent like 10 or 12 bucks on this, but you guys can see we haven't gone through a whole lot of it already. I kind of screwed up and shouldn't have gotten this big thing of celery salt because we actually don't use it that often. But then I've got the oregano, and then I've got a smaller one that I've been refilling from Aldi, so I can keep this in the back and just keep reusing this one when it runs out. But obviously you guys can see I need a bigger size canning jar for those. So those ones I might get like a quart size for those, for the ones that are going to be bigger. And something like this too, like the chili powder, I don't know why we had two of them that I think are both actually unopened, so that depending on, I might need to get the bigger size ones. These, I think these ones will fit in here. This one was actually an old one from Butera, and then the rest of these ones I think are all from Caputo's. But the same thing with this too, with the cumin. I was doing the same thing, using this one as like my the front one that I keep in the front of the pantry so we can use when we needed it, and then this one I would just keep refilling the smaller container with. But obviously I can save way more space if I just use these ones in the cabinet instead. And again, some of them I will need to get bigger size, but I actually counted out, I was perfect. I have 12 of these that I can use to put in here, and I have 12 jars exactly. So I think I might actually wind up getting another 12 of these, another pack of these for next week, because they, I have some other ones too that I do need to actually get more of. Like I think I don't have basil or something like that. I know there's a few other ones that I need to get them for. And then you guys can see in all of our glory, this is why I've been trying to get new things to organize with, because you guys can see this is a hot mess. It is horrible. I just actually got the ice cream salt because me and the little boy were babysitting for. I'm going to make ice cream, homemade ice cream, and do a science experiment with him. It's honestly only $2, and it's a huge like 2-pound thing of ice cream salt, so we can actually make homemade ice cream a lot. But I ended up picking that up. And then this is the cabinet where we store all of the, which for some reason this one is the hardest one to get out, what's it called, the other spices and seasonings. So like cloves and things like that, some of these other smaller ones, allspice. These ones I'm not going to put in there just right now. And like I said, maybe end up doing that next week. But something like this beef seasoning, I'm actually not going to put in one, because this one my mom got when she was actually in Texas, and so we're probably not going to buy it again. I don't want to, you know, dedicate an entire jar to it when it's just something that we'll just use up, you know, and then get rid of it, and we won't need to use the canning jar for it again. And then things like this too, like the lemon pepper grinder, I'm not going to, again, break this down and put it in the container. And then also too, I do have basil, but it's the organic kind. I don't know if I want to, like I said, dedicate a whole jar to it. If not, if I do, I'd probably write on there like organic, so that I'm not mixing the organic with the non-organic, although it's not a huge big deal. Then, you know, like sometimes it might wind up being garlic, but that's also organic. So I actually like how the glass jars look, which is why I might keep some of these in those. But at least for right now, the ones that are, again, kind of in these containers are the ones that I want to get out and put into the new canning jars, at least for now, because that's what I have. And then again, maybe get another set of them and then put them in the other thing. So yeah, like I said, there is a couple other things that I do know that I wrote down that we needed because we don't have. But I like to buy, like I said, the big packages and the big bulk size ones from Caputo's. So if I think it actually saves more money possibly per ounce and everything like that for the size that I'm getting versus actually getting the smaller ones, which Aldi just changed. You guys can see this was their old size packaging. And I haven't had to buy anything recently there. They changed it and they actually made them smaller, although they did lower the price a little bit. But this is like you guys can see, obviously smaller packaging than the one that they used to have. So they're actually having less for less money, but I think it works out to the kind of the same per price. But I think that buying the bulk size, it might actually wind up being cheaper instead of needing to get, like, you know, going through a whole thing of onion powder rather quickly. I can get a great big thing of onion powder and spend a little more out of pocket, but again, you know, have that in the pantry. And if we do wind up getting the bigger jars, I can obviously store it a little bit better in there too. So that's the process and the job that I'm up to today. So I'll show you guys kind of what it looks like when I finish up. So I finished this up. All of these have got all the contents. Like I said, I was able to fill up all 12 of them. And what I did was just wrote on here, I got just some blue painter's tape and just wrote on there what everything is for all the different jars so that it's easy to find. And like I told you guys, I was doing with the one up here for the pasta, so that we can utilize some of that vertical space, since again, this cabinet doesn't really work out so well for like storing if you're not stacking. So what I was gonna do is, if we got more of these jars, eventually put them up on top of here and be able to put them in the actual box that it came in, so that they can be stacked on top of each other without, you know, the chance of them falling if I just did a jar on top of another jar. So that's what I was going to do down here. So these will actually sit further into here because this is actually up on the sides because it's not quite fit exactly right. But what I'm gonna do is, again, probably that same thing, like be able to put the box on top of this one and then be able to store more up above this, because again, there should be a little bit more of a gap because these will sit deeper in here. But I want to keep them in the box for right now so I don't get rid of the box on accident. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, we have a few of the other things that are in the front. I think my mom was even suggesting using the smaller like jelly jars for like the smaller ones. Like we've got 2 little things of pumpkin spice in here. So like using for those smaller ones, maybe even 2 like for this, which is a different kind of what's it called, the like mustard, and then even 2 like the smaller ones, like we've got whole cloves, and then 2 maybe like for the cream of tartar, since we don't normally buy a huge big thing of that. But these ones again are ones that I normally wind up buying in bulk anyway, because they are the ones we use more often. So that's why I ended up going with the bigger size ones, but we can use smaller ones for, again, these kind of things, the ground or the whole cloves, you know, that kind of thing, allspice, like I said, the nutmeg. And then these ones too are like chicken seasoning, I think, like the Weber's. I got these on sale a long time ago, and we'll use these sometimes for like grilling or whatever, but these aren't something I'll probably wind up buying again, so I don't want to, again, make a whole jar dedicated to just that kind when it's something that we can kind of use up quickly. Like this is, you know, like some type of seasoning mix, and you know, that kind of thing. This is roasted garlic and herb, but we'll probably use it again for the grill, just as something that we don't use, you know, we won't, it's not a repurchase that we're going to get again, so that's why it's something that I don't want to, you know, dedicate a jar to. And then I can always, again, reuse the jar if I want to, but it doesn't make sense when I've got 1 little bottle, you know, of that. So that's just, like I said, how I ended up doing this. But this will work better for spacing wise, because this thing was, like I said, completely crazy in here, and there were jars on top of each other. You couldn't find anything. So I think too, I was telling you guys, this makes it easier for me to know when we're out of something. If I go, hey, you know, this is what's it called, parsley flakes, and I see, hey, we have almost none left in here, you know, instead of waiting until the jar is completely empty or something like that, if I see this jar empty, we're not gonna be, you know, tossing this. But if somebody else were to have finished using it, like my brother finished using up the last of the cinnamon, and I didn't know, so I had to go this week. I actually picked up new cinnamon, but you know, I didn't know because there was just no jar when I went to go find it because he had already put it in the recycling. This way, if I pull this out and see, wow, there's none left in here, okay, we need to get a new one, or I use the last of it, this way I can, again, I think visually see when we're out of something instead of guessing and be like, oh, I didn't see it in there, we must be out. This way there's a place for it and I know when we're actually out of it. I'm gonna go take a shower and get to bed. We went to, I think I told you guys yesterday, maybe I even said it earlier today, to my cousin's like kind of going away party, congratulations party, for his, he just got a job which he has like training for the next, I don't even know, I think it's like 6 months, but I know he's like going somewhere and then he's supposed to go, like he's going out of state, then he's supposed to go to another state, then he'll be back where he's actually supposed to start working. But that is like gonna be like, I think somebody said like 6 months, but I don't know if it's 6 months for the first like training he's supposed to do, or it's supposed to be 6 months after that as well, or like what it's supposed to be. But it's kind of like one of the last times, like, I mean, I think maybe the first like year he has like 13 days, I think somebody said, like vacation time, so like he might be back for like maybe Christmas or like maybe Thanksgiving, or you know, something like that, like a holiday here or there or something, and he has like weekends off, I think, so you know, there's like that. But for the most part, as far as I know, it's like he's gonna be living out of state, and like, you know, it's kind of like a permanent sort of thing now that he is like leaving, which is, like I said, it's, I think I said yesterday, it's kind of sad that he'll be gone, because you know, he took Matthew, actually Matthew's girlfriend, out like before the start of last school year, because like, you know, they were just starting college and stuff like that, and he's actually a year younger than me, or like a grade younger than me. We're, I think, exactly like 13 months or something like that apart, or like just about 13 months. And so yeah, it's like I said, it's like super sad. Or no, maybe we're not, maybe we're actually 11 months apart. His birthday's in October and mine's in November, so yeah, we are like, we're the same age for like just about 1 month. And so yeah, anyways, like I said, he is, you know, like was older than them and stuff like that, and so like told him like what to expect and everything like that. But yeah, it's like weird that, you know, we like won't see him like at just regular like family birthday parties and stuff like that. Like I doubt he'll like, you know, wind up coming maybe for bigger holidays, but it's, you know, like when you start to get older, like family starts to leave and separate. And I don't know, it's weird too, because I didn't really think like, because his sister just lives like in the city and stuff like that, so I kind of thought like, oh, you know, he'll stay around here and stuff like that, and that's where his family is and all that kind of stuff. But like going and like getting a job and like being a grown-up and moving out of state, like, you know, he's like my little cousin. You know, like I said, it was weird today to just like know like that's probably gonna be the last time, at least for the next 6 months, that like we're gonna see him. But yeah, I also too, guys, I got my new TV all set up and hung up and stuff like that today, and I was setting up all of the like app functions, and I found out, guys, because the Vizio TVs, which is what I got, actually they use the Chromecast, and so if you actually, what's really cool, guys, is that if you use Chrome already as your browser, you can literally just stream whatever is on your browser straight onto your TV. So I was like looking through and I was like, oh, like it doesn't have the HBO app, or it doesn't have like this app or whatever, but I can literally just put it on my computer and stream it into my TV. So I was like, this is so nice. Or you can do the same thing too, like if you're using it on your phone or whatever, you can do it through the apps. I can put Spotify on my TV and stream it through my TV, which is kind of, I could do that with my Xbox as well, but I didn't love doing that, only because like I don't like having extra apps on my Xbox just because like for, you know, each individual like streaming service, you know, like I had Netflix, and I think Hulu, and I don't even think I had Amazon Prime, like Amazon on my my Xbox. But you know, like all those apps, if you start adding them up and then you're like, I also want Hulu and I want this app and I want that app and you know, all this kind of stuff, they really start to add up like really quickly. And so that's why I was like, you know, in like space and storage and stuff like that, and I was like, I really wish. So like my phone, I use Spotify already on my phone because I listen to it if I'm in the car, if I'm going somewhere or whatever. So that's why if I want to, you know, put music on my TV so it's louder or whatever, I'm literally just hook it up from my phone and stream it on my TV so that I have like the surround sound coming off of the TV, you know, in my room if I was cleaning or, you know, doing something in my room or whatever, so that I don't have to worry about like this, you know, just little noise that's coming out of my phone, or just, you know, having it come out of my computer or whatever. I could just set it up through my TV or, you know, something like that. And so I was like, this is like cool, but that way I don't have to have an extra app downloaded on something that I wouldn't use regularly. You know, it might be more of a like semi-regular thing. And like I said too, having it, you know, using my browser or whatever, that I can just set it up and, you know, stream it then through my TV on there. And I think there's ways to, depending on the certain app that you're using, like, which I don't use any type of like video or streaming app on my phone. I never have. I don't have YouTube, I don't have Netflix, like I don't watch any of that stuff on my phone. So if I wanted to though, if you like use that, I guess you can stream that stuff from your phone, I think, if you also have the Vizio app maybe or something like that. I don't know, I didn't totally look into it, but that you can like stream it also on your TV, which is also really cool. So honestly guys, at first I was like, why did I get this? Like it doesn't really seem like it's like totally worth like having it and stuff like that. Like, you know, as I was like thinking about it more, I was like, is it really that big of a deal? But I can like watch now, because my really big thing was that before I go to sleep at night, I would, you know, like I normally watch TV to like fall asleep, and I'll normally leave the timer on, you know, the sleep timer on my TV before I will fall asleep. And if I wanted to watch Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or something like that before I was going to sleep, I'd have to put on my Xbox, and my Xbox I can set to have a timer go off, but sometimes it takes a really long time for it to turn off. And so like I don't want to leave that on top of that having to leave my controller turned on, so that I can like pause it or, you know, whatever, you know, on my controller, and it wastes my batteries, which I don't like either. And so there's just a lot of things that I was like, I don't like that I have to do all of XYZ in order to watch that on my TV. But now I literally can do it all with just one remote too, which is also really nice, instead of like having to switch back over to this and then switch back over to that. Like everything is all run through one thing and it's all in one place, and I don't have to switch here to watch this and then switch back to watch that, and then, you know, jump around to a whole bunch of other places. I can watch YouTube on there, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, plus they have a whole bunch of other like free apps, and or I think they have NBC was already on there, which NBC has got like other apps through it, like USA and E I think is also on there. So like there's a handful of other ones that I can watch that are, you know, shows and things like that, and TV stations that I watch also. But then I can also stream it, just you know, switch back to my cable box as well. And I wasn't really sure too, I was trying to figure out, like it said, oh, you can find your cable box and like stream. I don't know if it meant like you can stream what is already through your cable box on your TV or something like that. Like I know you can, because you just switch it to the HDMI, but I didn't understand what if that's what it meant, or like if you like get those channels then because you also have it through your like cable, or your, I guess, your cable provider if you have one. So I don't know, I have to totally look into this more, guys. This is like so much technology for me, seriously. Like my brain is kind of going like, whoa, I need to remember all the passwords to first get into these accounts, because I can't even remember that. And then trying to figure out how the whole thing works is also like, whoa, like my brain. Which, like I said, that was really cool, because I was actually looking on Spotify and I was like, let me see if I can figure out how to do this. And sure enough, it popped up and it was like, your TV in your room, you can stream this on there. And I was like, wow, I can. And then I tried it on my computer too, and I was like, okay, I need to get to bed though, because I have to babysit tomorrow, which I'm gonna be babysitting actually an hour later, because I think I told you guys she's gonna be dropping him off at like 30 or something like that tomorrow, so it'll be a little bit later tomorrow, which will be nice. And then I think I'm babysitting though for the whole week this week, which is what I told her I could do, so that's what it looks like. But anyways guys, I will see you all on tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshine faces tomorrow. So bye guys.